Alright, what's up? This is I guess part 2 of the Jeep build. It's a quick little update of what I've done so far. I got the Jeep home. I got the motor in, transmission in, transfer case in, clutch, master cylinders in. The injection pump is wired in, alternator. It's all on a key right now. I get started with the key. I don't know. Basically it. I don't know if you can tell the rake. Obviously it is heavier, but it's not as bad as I thought I was expecting to be. You know, it's not nose diving as bad. You know, the springs are obviously squished. Since I don't have top control arms, the axle's trying to flip forward, but can't. I got the motor mounts in. I'm not very happy with them just because of what all happened. I got the motor mounts in. I built them. The motor was sitting in on its own. Went to take the motor out so I could finish welding it all in, and the transmission adapter plate was hitting, and there was no way for me to get the motor and transmission out without redoing these mounts. So cut them in half, put 2 pieces of metal that I could bolt together, welded them on each side. You know, take out the difference. Don't mind that. That's something I was trying out. I was waiting on to get ground cable connections, and I didn't have any big enough, so I just made that work. But that'll be going. But I'm not really happy with how these motor mounts turned out. Obviously I'm gonna put metal across the top here, just to help support it, to keep them from bending and twisting. Do it on the bottom and up the side, and then probably gusset it down there, and maybe even here if I can, just to help keep these as firm as possible. I went with 1/4 inch metal. That's what was on the Dodge. You know, we'll see. You know, this Jeep is not going to be. This Jeep won't be a rock crawler. This Jeep won't be a jumper. You know, this thing isn't going to be built to be abused hard. You know, it's just going to be built to go out in the woods, go on Florida trails, go through mud, and then driven to work. You know, it's nothing too crazy. I also deleted the fuel heater. It was leaking. I could never get the pump to prime up, so I just did away with it and ran my 1/2 inch line to the 1/2 inch nipple there, so I didn't have to reduce nothing and nothing like that. I still got to turn that around, but it was on there pretty good, so I might just leave it like that. We'll see. I got the transmission mount in. I do not like that either, but I did it to get it home. I don't like how the stick hangs lower than the frame. Eventually, I'm gonna come from the inside of the frame. Come from the inside of the frame, angle it down, you know, hook up to the transmission mount, and then angle back up, and to stay just on the inside of the frame. It'll work for now, but I don't like the way it looks. Here's another look at where the transfer case ends and where the yoke starts, so I'm gonna have to stretch it, of course. I don't think I'm gonna go slip yoke. I don't think so. We'll see. Slip yoke eliminator. I might have to. We'll see though. Whenever I get down to that. There's something else I'd like to show you. My battery's staying my battery's going underneath my seat, because the fenders I built, the battery tray stuck out too far. I couldn't use it. But this blew me away. Just how easily everything in this Jeep's coming together. I didn't have to cut any of this. The holes lined up perfectly. You know, I didn't need to cut any of this. Like, it was like meant to be basically bolt up, besides building your own mounts. This was already cut because when I did the body lift, it told me to cut the shifter and lengthen it, but I had planned on selling that, so I didn't want to mess it up for the next guy. So I just cut this, assuming that I was gonna have to cut it anyways. However, I didn't, because this is about factory position here. And as you can tell, it doesn't hit anywhere. The four-wheel drive shifter here, he'd come to 4 high, go over to neutral, go down 4 low, and it would barely hit right here, barely hit. But I already had a hole here missing, so I just went ahead and cut this out. And when you had it in 2-wheel drive, 2 high, where it came up, it barely hit right there. So I just went ahead and I'm gonna clean this up a little bit more. I gotta put the boots on today. But yeah, let me just show you. Right now I'm in the process of wiring up the factory gauge cluster so everything will work. So that's why I got this cluster, this rat nest of wires. I've got to plug in or hook in the, just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I'm wiring in the temperature sensor, oil pressure sensor. I hooked up the alternator today with an external regulator from like a 70s Plymouth. It's a 2-pin. Currently, right now, it's overcharging. So I pulled one of the leads off so it stopped charging. But you know, I was looking at it and it was climbing. It's got up to 14. It was pretty cool. Then I look away, look back, and it was at 15.8 and it was climbing still. So I went ahead and pulled it off. From what I've read, the regulator's not grounded well enough, so I'm going to run a grounding wire to one of my grounding locations that I got. Yeah, temperature sensor, oil pressure sensor, and then let's see here. Got that was AC. No, yeah, that was AC. Temperature sensor, that's the other AC. Then you got your oil pressure sensor, and I don't remember which one that one was. I got it written down. But yeah, I got the wiring harness from the Dodge as well. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the wiring harness from the Dodge, plugging it into where it needs to be, and then just running the Jeep harness to that location, crimping it. Soldering it in. It's just taking a while. Wiring always does. I got the fuel cell in. That's in the back here. Soon that this the tank will be in the frame rails. You know, but for now I just put it there. I haven't decided whether I'm going to run full hydro or not on this. This is a 2004. 2002 Jeep changed their gearboxes here. They went with a Mercedes style. So all of the cool Tap and ports things won't work with this. I can't find any diagrams on how to port these. So what I'm gonna have to do, you know, I could always cut it, pick it out and put one of like the Durangos in or the Astrovans in, but I already have a ram, an 8-inch stroke ram, and an orbital valve I got from work that I might just go ahead and plug in. You know, like this could work. I had unbolted it for my mounts, but I could make something work there. I don't know. I doubt that that'll have enough strength to move all this weight, especially with 42s. We'll see though. I don't know. Everything's already on the front axles. It'd be easy just to hook up to the pitman arm, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet. I really haven't decided. That's still a couple months away. But yeah, that's just a quick little update on what I've done. Oh yeah, here's the 66 Mustang with the brackets that I built. Those will be welded inside the grill and it'll bolt. The bolts are welded to the back side, so I'll just slip the radiator on. And here's the fan. I have a Ford Contour. It comes with its own controller box. I got for 20 bucks at the junkyard. And it happens to fit in between the two ports on the radiator. The port here, the top one, sticks out right here. And as you can tell, I have to go out and around, and I'd rather not. So I might just cut this off and just run a straight piece across, and then move this tap farther back because the thermostat sits here. I don't know if you can tell, but I got about 2.5 inches here that I can use. We'll see though. The hard part though is going to be here, because the bottom one sticks out probably about this far. So I'm going to have to come out, bend 90 again to come here, and then bend another 90. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to run up the frame rail here just so I have enough space, which means I'm gonna have to put my coilover hoops on the outside of the frame and angle in. I have a 12 valve Cummins, the older ones with the VE pump, non-intercooled. I have their crossover tube because I'm not going to have enough room right now to run an intercooler. However, I did not know this, but the intake for theirs is 1 square back. So theirs goes over and then kicks this way and hooks there. Mine, since it's the same, it goes over, it kicks here, so it doesn't line up. I can either build a new plenum plate, but then it'll be in the way of my lines, or I can modify this crossover tube, which is what I'm probably gonna have to do. However, it's aluminum, and it's cast aluminum, and I have no way of welding cast aluminum. So I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. I might ask if a buddy can do it for me. Yeah, I've done a lot, but it's been a lot of little stuff, so I don't really have too much to talk about. So I guess I'm done. This is just a quick update on my 12 valve Cummins Jeep project. I guess stay tuned for more. I'll be posting them as I get more done. Thanks for watching.